What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly Sports History for September 24th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Before we get started, I want to just say Gemar Hatima Tova to my Jewish friends out there. The Phillies, though. Whew, what a win. Didn't think they were going to get the game in. They kept saying all day that there's a window. And then there was a window, and they got it in 7-5. Bohm and Harper both hit home runs. Wheeler looked okay, and it was just a crappy, windy, messy day. So won't necessarily put a lot on how Wheeler looked, considering it was so windy and there was like a constant mist and rain coming down. But they are now 5 up in the wild card for a spot, 4.5 for that top spot. Looking good. They theoretically could clinch a playoff berth today. They moved that game till this evening because of the rain. But their magic number is 2 to clinch a playoff spot, 3 to get that top seed. We're 3 wins away from our over 88.5 bet. So things are looking good right now in Phil's land. Be great to have them not only sweep the Mets in 4 games tonight, but clinch a playoff spot if everything else breaks the right way. But we will have more of an update on that tomorrow. Want more Phil's coverage? Go see our friends at 2008 Phil's. Currently offering 75% off a subscription for this day in Philly sports history listeners. All the info you need is in the link. You get that shirt, the 2008 World Series Championship banner shirt. You get access to giveaways and tickets and autographs. 2008 Phil's will follow your Twitter, and it's all for just $2 a month, $20 for the year. Check it out because time is running out. They do a lot of fun stuff in the off season too. So time is running out. That expires at the end of the regular season. So not too much longer for that. So go check out the link in the description for your 75% off subscription. Meanwhile, across the street at Lincoln Financial Field, things were not as good for the Temple Owls. 41-7. They're just not a good team. I mean, I don't even really want to spend a ton of time on it. They had their chances. Miami's good, don't get me wrong, but man, you can't be getting blown out 41-7. But my, how the Owls have fallen in just 8 short years. But Union battled to a 0-0 draw with LA yesterday. They were able to pick up a point. They're now 1 spot out of second place in the East standings for the MLS playoffs. Eagles, I definitely was able to read more into the A.J. Brown thing. And I like the fact that he said he left without talking to the media because he was emotional and he didn't want to say something stupid and didn't want to blow it up into something. And I got to take him at his word for that, and I think that it shows a lot of maturity. I think a lot of us could learn from that, so kudos to him for that. And again, I don't think any of them should be happy. Yeah, they're 2-0, but they did not look good doing it, so more on that tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to what they have in store. They've had 11 days, but I'll talk more about that when we preview the game tomorrow morning. Does look like they're going to be pretty healthy for the game. Bradbury was able to be a full participant. Fletcher was a full participant. Basically, everybody except for Terrell Edmonds that is going to play tomorrow practice. He was sick. The only 2 that are definitely out right now are Quez and Boston Scott. So it looks like they're going to be as healthy as they could be and much healthier than they were last week. And I think that's going to definitely help play a difference in this. Plus, it's Baker Mayfield. I mean, but we'll get more into that tomorrow. One cool thing I didn't realize, Brandon Graham, when he plays tomorrow, will be his 181st game as an Eagle, moving him into 3rd place past Harold Carmichael, who we will talk about in a few minutes. In case you're wondering, Akers is the highest, 188, then B-Dog with 183. So Brandon could break that record this year. It's going to be another rainy, crappy day before your football. Get your football fix on today. Go check out my friends over at the Clashing Conferences podcast. It is just 4 guys talking NFC East football. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of trash talk and just typical what you would expect out of NFC East fans. So go check them out on Apple Podcasts and YouTube. Great time. The Clashing Conferences podcast. While you're at it, it's raining. Why not go to phillygoat.com, get your Flyers gear ready, get your Sixers gear ready, get ready for the Eagles season when they're wearing the Kelly Greens in a couple weeks, and then Phillies postseason. I'll get it. It's what happens if you invert your words here. But go to phillygoat.com, use that promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. We talked boxing yesterday. Get yourself a boxing shirt too. You name it, they have it. Could have used one of those hoodies yesterday. It was a little chilly watching some of the games out on the back porch, but go to phillygoat.com. Use that promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. All right, today we're going to stick with the Eagles, and we're going to go back to 1950. And on this day, back in 1950, the two-time defending champion Eagles beat the Chicago Cardinals 45-7. Defensive back Russ Craft intercepted Cardinals quarterback Jim Hardy 4 times to set the NFL or tie the NFL record for interceptions by a player in a game. Currently, he is tied with 19 others on that list. D'Angelo Hall in 2010 was the last player to have 4 interceptions in a game. But the defense wasn't done in that 45-7 rout. Joe Sutton added 3 more interceptions, and Frank Reagan returned 1 for a touchdown. Hardy's 8 interceptions is the NFL record for interceptions in a game by one individual quarterback. Still the record. A handful of guys have 7. But on this day, it was Russ Craft intercepting Jim Hardy 4 times. The rest of the defense intercepted him another 4 times, allowing him to set that dubious NFL record. The rest of the season didn't go so well for the 1950 Eagles, the 2-time champs. They started off 6-2 and then lost 4 straight and missed the playoffs. But on this day, the defense was incredible. Time for who wore it best, and number 17 was a lot closer than what I thought. It basically came down, no love for Scott Rowland, and I didn't really expect it, but it came down to Carmichael versus Brind'Amour. Brind'Amour was up early. Carmichael got the late overnight surge and won with 61% of the vote. So Harold Carmichael is our number 17 player who wore it best. All right, today we're going to go with number 28, and currently number 28, one of yesterday's heroes for the Phillies, Alec Boehm. Josh Jobe for the Eagles, and the Sixers just signed David Duke Jr. He will be number 28 for them this year. Other notables, and there's some guys that you could make the argument could be in our vote, but Shel Samuelson, Andrew Lang, remember him from the Charles Barkley trade, Carell Buckholder, part of that 3-headed running back attack that Andy Reid had, Dion Lewis, who would go on and have a solid career with the Patriots, but he started off with the Eagles as a special teamer, and they cut him. Vincent Velasquez, Mitch Williams, his first 2 years prior to going to number 99, wore number 28. John Kruk for a year wore number 28. So lots of big names, but like Kruk and Mitch Williams did not wear them consistently enough to be considered for this. But I'm very satisfied with the list we have for number 28 today. First, we have Claude Giroux. He was captain of the Flyers for 10 years. He played 15 years total here in Philly. He has over 900 points in 611 games. 900 points. He's played the most games as captain for the Flyers at 611. He has the most points in a playoff game with 6. He has the Flyers record for power play goals. He just was an all-around good guy, and they traded him away right before they started this rebuild to try to get him a chance to win a cup. But Claude Giroux, one of the best to ever do it in Philly. For the Phillies, we have Kurt Simmons. He pitched 13 years, had 115 wins as a Philly, almost 1,700 Ks as a Philadelphia Philly. 3-time All-Star. He's on their Wall of Fame. He pitched here from 1947 to 1960. Throw in a year of military service in there, and he is one of the best. He played on that Whiz Kids team. And then finally, we have Bill Bradley, defensive back and part-time punter for the Eagles. Played 8 years in Philly for the Eagles. He also returned some kickoff and punt returns. But mostly known for his work as a defensive back. His 34 career interceptions is tied for first as the Eagles' all-time record. He is tied with Brian Dawkins and Eric Allen on that list. He played from 69 to 76. He is in the Eagles Hall of Fame, two-time All-Pro, led the league in interceptions in 71 and 72. One of the best to ever do it, and he did a little bit of everything. He punted, returned punts, returned kicks, but he is the all-time leader in interceptions for the Eagles, tied with Dawkins and Eric Allen. We talked already about B-Dog. I'll give you a spoiler. Eric Allen is coming up too, so we'll talk about him. But now it's your turn. Who wore number 28 the best? Is it Giroux? Is it Kurt Simmons? Is it Bill Bradley? Get that vote for me. Don't send smoke signals today. It's going to be cloudy and rainy. They won't make it. But make sure to get your vote for me, or to me. Make sure you are liking and subscribing this podcast. Check out the latest Back to the Future if you have not done so already. We go into the life and career of Barry Ashby. On this day in 1950, it was Russ Craft intercepting quarterback Jim Hardy 4 times en route to setting the NFL record, a record he currently shares with 19 others. They also intercepted Hardy 4 other times that game. But no Eagles football today, so get some work done around the house, clean, do something. But go have yourselves a Sunday. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you.